Episode 50 now.
Episode 50. Okay, what's this one called?
And this one is called Nicotine in the Redwoods. And this one has a guest starring role from Dave Michaels.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, Billy,
go for it.
We will do it.
Episode 50. Nicotine in the Redwoods. I found him upside down, not metaphorically, physically, hanging from a low redwood branch by one bootlace, calmly explaining municipal zoning laws to a pinecone. Wilder Ranch has seen things. Tonight, it added this. Dave, I said, adjusting my cup of cold coffee, it had achieved a state, stale somewhere between liquid and philosophical dispute. Why are you suspended? He blinked.
There are 5 of them now.
5 what?
Bigfoots. Big feet, big footy. It's a union question.
I didn't blink. You never blink when grammar is unstable. He dropped lightly to the ground, brushed bark off his shoulder, and pointed into the trees.
They took me,
he said.
Family unit, subcommittee, the tall one runs compliance.
Compliance with what?
Gravity, mostly.
He said he woke up in a clearing shaped like a hexagon. The trees leaned inward. The moss hummed. One of the juveniles wore a traffic cone.
The dominant male had eyes like he had been watching cable news,
Dave said.
Deep, tired, mildly judgmental.
And?
He asked me if I preferred drip or French press.
That's when I felt something shift in the woods. I took a thoughtful, completely non-promotional, entirely FCC-friendly hold of my unlit Pall Mall, which I was not smoking, merely supporting emotionally between 2 fingers. You gave them coffee, I said.
I didn't give,
Dave replied.
I demonstrated.
Apparently the younger Bigfoot tried to stir the air. The female attempted to brew with leaves on a suspicious rock. Then Dave introduced the chewing tobacco. He popped the can. The dominant male sniffed it, then swallowed it whole. Not just the contents, the can. The concept. Possibly Tuesday. What happened, I asked.
The trees leaned closer,
Dave whispered. The Bigfoot froze mid-blink, then began vibrating at a frequency unusually reserved for kitchen appliances. His fur stood straight out. Birds flew backward. A raccoon filed paperwork. Nicotine spike, I asked?
Maybe,
Dave said.
Or enlightenment.
Then Dave offered coffee. Not in a cup, in the air. He flung it. The dominant male opened his mouth like a cathedral, absorbed it. Grounds, steam, minor regret. And that's when reality unclipped itself. The Bigfoot began speaking in what Dave described as aggressive cursive. He rearranged the clearing alphabetically. He attempted to square the moon. He demanded a second espresso. You escalated, I said.
I pivoted,
Dave corrected. The younger Bigfoot started imitating him. Sat when he sat. Stood when he stood. Tried to host a radio segment about lichens. Poorly. The dominant male began pacing in perfect octagons, then triangles, then something that cannot be described without upsetting geometry. He grabbed a tree and whispered to it. The tree apologized. Did he attack you, I asked?
No,
Dave said.
He tried to refinance me.
That's when Dave ran. Past sandstone outlaw caves from the late 1800s, past a deer wearing a vest, past a redwood that briefly turned into a hallway. Behind him, the Bigfoot howled, not in rage, but in what sounded suspiciously like a podcast outro. "You're telling me," I said carefully, "you destabilized a woodland primate civilization with nicotine and caffeine?"
I simply introduced options.
Dave said. Of course he did. We stood in the redwoods. The wind blew sideways. A squirrel adjusted its tie. "Did he die?" I asked.
No,
Dave said.
but he became extremely managerial.
That's worse. "Why you?" I pressed. Dave stared at the tree line.
I've seen ghosts out there. I've seen a mammoth, voices in caves. Maybe the woods think I'm a recurring ingredient.
"I don't like being part of a recipe."
Or maybe,
he added.
they just wanted my thermos.
We walked toward the trailhead. No tracks. No fur. No lingering scent of stimulant-induced transcendence. Just silence. But not empty silence. Evaluating silence. The kind that measures you for curtains. Before we parted ways, I asked one final question. "If they come looking for you?" Dave nodded slowly.
They already mailed me a syllabus.
And for the first time in my career, I checked the trees not for movement, but for accreditation. He wandered where the branches bend, where maps forget where trails might end, where beasts debate and logic bends, and the night grew still and quiet. A can, a cup, a trembling plan, a jittering and a baffled clan, a forest king who couldn't stand, and I don't trust anything that invoices the moon. Until next time, your detective, Billy Armi.